All right, welcome to some Train Sim World. Today we're taking a look at the brand new Class 805 DLC that will be releasing tomorrow. Oh, my video's frozen. Are we good? We're good. I think we're good. Cool. We're good. Um, so yeah, Class 805. It was previewed on Wednesday by Dovetail themselves, and today we'll be taking a look at it. So I've got quite a bit of content coming out over the course of today, over the course of tomorrow. Got a couple of videos tomorrow. They're gonna come out every 3 hours, basically. Every 3 hours from an hour ago until 10 o'clock tonight, and then 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and a few hours after that. That's basically it. I'm just having a look at the mods that I've missed out on in the last couple of days because although I have been playing and recording, I haven't actually gone out of my way to have a little gander at what's going on. So, yeah, this is basically my opportunity to get up to date with the mods, see what's available. Bakerloo line timetable, interesting. That's received an update recently. Suffragette line timetable containing what? That's going to be a strange one. Um, this one is cool, the Riviera line one. However, I just don't think. I don't think it's worth it because, as far as I know, it hasn't been tested and probably it's probably doesn't need to be to see whether it works alongside the enhancement mod for the route. So yeah, a clean yet legit remake of the Goblin Line timetable set in December 2025. Interesting. So just know if it has been added. Ah, C2C server. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, so maybe that adds the C2C and District Line services, and Hammersmith and City Line. All in the Barking area. That's cool. That's very cool. That's very cool. Right, let's update TSW game tools. I forgot where this goes. Um, where does it go? Right, it goes there. So let's do this real quick. Go to my DLC folder. Work our way back from there. Binaries Win64. Binaries Win64. And just here. Yes. And it should just replace what's already there. Perfect. I don't actually know what that adds. I probably should have checked. Let me quickly have a gander and see what that changes compared to the other one. Um, I guess it's just I don't know, just like a small fix. Okay, it doesn't bring anything new except for support of the new version of the game. Although, in all honesty, I didn't have any issues with the previous one. So either I was lucky or I just hadn't entered the realms of crashing, of where the crashing occurred. Cool. Got my controller today. PlayStation controller, new camera placement. I don't really have anyone in chat to let me know whether it's for the better or not. So I'll wait. Um, but yeah, I think it's more natural to where. Well, is it more natural? I don't know, but it's where my other one was. It's where my other one was. Um, when I was using my webcam before. I don't know. It's kind of cool having it on the side, but it did get in the way quite a bit because I've got my second screen here, and there was always something or another getting blocked. But I feel like you could see my face more. Maybe you could see my eyes more. I don't know. Maybe I'll just ask. I'll just ask. ultimately it's not my view and experience, right? It's yours. So that's where that's the opinion really that should be the only one that matters. Right, hopefully everything works nice and smooth. I mean, I last played on Saturday. Did I play yesterday? No. I last played on Saturday. Everything was well and good. West Coast Mainline South was working as it should. West Coast. Well, I guess it is West Coast. West Coast Mainline, Birmingham to Crewe worked as it should. Couple crashes that would happen, I think, on one of the scenarios, the Watford one, if I'm not mistaken, turn back at Watford. But then I'd reload the game and it would just work fine. So I don't know. I don't know. Right, also, I would like for this to be a little bit tilted, just so I'm not causing too much potential motion sickness. Let me lock it off first. Try and turn it a bit. I fear I may have turned it a bit too much now. I have. Alright, hopefully. Hopefully that's better. I don't know. There's so much. I need to put it down more. Ignore that. Definitely wasn't my phone. Right, I'm hoping that's it. Looks good. Rather the whole curtain cover everything, but that will do for now. Right, let's get into it then. There's not really much more to do or wait for. Class 805. Hopefully this will be beneficial for anyone that wants to that's thinking, I guess, of purchasing this train. Comes with 2 timetables, fairly decent timetables in my opinion. I mean, just the fact that it comes with 2 timetables, I think is quite cool. I'm gonna stick a charger on my phone so that it doesn't randomly black out as we go in. There we go. Cool. So yeah, comes with its own timetable for the West Coast Main Line. That timetable contains a total of 997 services, and the default one has 950. So you got 47 extra services there. And then for Birmingham to Crewe, on the 2019 timetable, which is the default one, you've got 540 services. And then on the modern one, you've got 1 extra service. So, yeah, I'm going to go through the journey mode of the West Coast Main Line South. Hello, Carter. Timetable. Time to get answers for the question of the week. Your question of the week. How much of a difference will the 805 be? Well, I can tell you, I mean, you will see for yourself, but I can tell you, I haven't driven the Pendolino since TSW5 came out. But from what I remember of it, this is very similar. If there's like minor differences in how fast it is, how fast the acceleration is, you know, maybe. But other than that, it's very, very similar. The sounds are good. The sounds are very good. But you can't really appreciate the sounds unless you're in the outside view. I personally am not familiar in reality with these trains, but the people who are all have a lot of praise, for the train, and it sounds. Ultimately, I mean, it's the same family as the two we already have in the game, the 801 from East Coast Main Line, and which it also drives very similar to. So you've got the Pendolino. I mean, it's a UK high speed train, right? Our high speed trains just tend to have a lot in common with each other. Is the power up? There was something I had where the power wouldn't like be up by itself, which was strange. Hello, hi Asma, how you doing? Good to see you. Hello, Machiavelli. Does it go brew brew? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. You will hear the sound. I'll depart in until we get up to speed. I will say like in an external view, right on the side of the train, and you can hear it for yourselves. Where's my mod? Oh, okay. Delivery. The branding's there. Yeah. I will have an exterior cam so that you can hear the audio. And if you are familiar with these trains, it says the BT Tower. Have they got the display on it as well? They do, but it's static. Boring. Sorry. Yeah, if you're familiar with these trains and how it sounds in reality, then I'm sure you'll be well pleased. Otherwise, you can just admire it. Just admire it. Oh, hello. Back to Earth. Right, typical 8300 series door closing sounds. You may realize I have now turned my signals off in the HUD. Bit more immersive, I don't know, but now it means I gotta actually pay attention to what I'm doing. Those buildings I've been to, well, one of them when I used to do my food delivery job, it was the yellow one, I think, that I've been to. I don't know. Anyway, not important. One of my favorite sounds. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it every single time. I like the click clack. You didn't check the 163 Simmer on YouTube. I bought it, Cardo. I bought it. Hopefully I'll be playing with it today. What's your opinion of it? What do you think about it? I've never gone through this way. Interesting. What service? Where is this train going to? Holyhead. Who's Holly and what happened to her head? Doesn't it sound the same as the LNR 801? No, the sounds are much more improved, Hayasma. Much more improved. We hope that the sounds would be backported onto the 801 from the East Coast Main Line, but, you know, realistically, that rarely ever happens, man. Rarely happens. Oh, we can get up to speed a lot quicker. I think I'll get annoyed very fast with the interior cabin sound. Really? Interesting. Okay, I actually don't know what it sounds like. Yet. Apparently the sounds are good. I can't compare them to the real thing. Apparently they're good. I like the interior, in all honesty. It's a bit like, I don't know, it's boxy, right? I mean, the whole shape of the train is boxy. I don't know, there's something about it. It goes zoom zoom though, it does. It does go zoom zoom. It has a very specific sound when you accelerate. If you could translate that sound into words, that would be cool. Don't even have to shuffle here. Loki, you should drive with no HUD except the station distance. I can't do that, my man. I can't do that. I mean, I could if I really wanted to, but it means I'd have to be like ultra focused. I'd have to be looking at the train screens for the speeds, the time as well. And also, if I get only the objective distance, then it would mean that I would have to have the marker on this in my view, and I don't like that. And then you come back here and it's very, very quiet. You tried it and it's actually really fun. It's definitely doable. It's definitely doable. Why is my thing changed? It's definitely doable. I would have to properly lock in. I think it would be cool though, there's no doubt. Like in any game, I think it would be cool to drive without a HUD, especially... I mean, not especially. I mean, it only applies to sim games. I do it on Euro Truck and American Truck. SimRail... I came close. I actually started... What did I start doing? I started taking things off the HUD. That was when I used to play it often. But then, of course, I stopped. I stopped playing it. And that was that. That just was that. What do you guys think of my camera placement? Was it better where it was before? There's no windows to open. You know what? I'm gonna be honest, Hayasmat. I don't know. In all of my videos, I put a disclaimer saying that I'm running over 300 mods. Your experience may vary, because that one especially, I know the lighting mod that I have, the graphics and lighting enhancement, I know it can improve lighting a lot. Like on the West Coast Main Line over Shap route, the Just Trains one, it looks beautiful, but that's because of the mod. And I'm seeing like similar aspects here, which is making me think it's likely a mod, but I can't say for sure. It's 377. I'll tell you what, it's very, very rare that I'll see 377s. I actually don't know how many trains they run hourly on this timetable, but it's very rare that I'll see one. Very, very rare. A good drive though. A good drive. Windows messages. It's almost like, I don't know, like they try to be as annoying as possible. How are you guys doing though? How's your weekend? How's your weekend been? I was awake for about, how much did I calculate in the end? 32 hours, I think, with no sleep. That was fun. It wasn't fun. So that was something. Other than that, though, it was a pretty standard weekend for me. Nothing out of the ordinary. The Simrel servers have been popping. And yet somehow, last night, just to see whether I could drive the train when I bought the DLC, went on the multiplayer servers, INT1, searched by the train. I found the service straight away and got in. So that was interesting. Good to see activity though, but we knew there was going to be activity, whether it was because of the update or because of the DLC. The question that I've always had was, in 1 month from now, so coming towards the end of February, are the servers still going to be looking like that? We shall see. I think if Simco decided to take the game seriously, or let's say give it a bit more attention, I don't doubt it for a second. I don't doubt it for a second. My hardware, type in the chat exclamation mark system. See, I've been good getting this one right recently. I hope I'm continuing the streak. Okay, nothing came up. Try exclamation mark specs. SPECS. My streak has been ruined. Okay. A Raspberry Pi with 1590 in it. What an image. You grab the GPU and you got the whole PC attached. Hayasma, give me 1 second. System, specs. Goodness me, why do I always forget it? Why do I always forget this one? I'm pretty sure it was system. I'm so sure it was system. Type in exclamation mark commands. Type in exclamation mark commands. And then it should be one of the commands. I'm pretty sure it was system. Yeah, click on the link, and then it should take you to where all the commands are. I can't believe this. I'm in shambles. I'm in shambles. I was on such a run. I think I got it right like twice in a row after just always getting it wrong. It was just a meme. Setup. And then I see that and I'm like, I should change it to system. But then I'm like, wait, my setup makes sense. Like, what's your setup? That makes sense, right? But then come the next time somebody asks me, type in exclamation mark system. So, I don't know. If there's like a way to have two commands do the same thing, maybe I should look into that. But as far as I know, I can't right now. So yeah, there you go, Hayasma. There are my specs. Oh mate, listen, Machiavelli. It's worth more than having 2 sticks of gold right now. Because Hayasma setup like makes sense. You know, like it actually does make sense. I don't know why I resort to system every time somebody asks. I really don't know, but setup makes more sense, I think, than system. I think, you know what I'm gonna do? I need to just create a whole new command, but that gives the same output. That's what I'm gonna do. That's just, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. That's just what I need to do. And maybe do a third one for specs, because that's like another one that default to. Oh. Oh god, that's loud. Okay, so the other 350s. Hold on. What's this? A 352? I'm confused. Why did I just say LNR, by the way? Anyway, I'm confused because, like, there's a different livery to that one, and I guess it's a different 350 subclass. But then it's quite interesting because by the time Birmingham to Crewe came along, I don't know, I'm confused. Anyway, whatever. We're all doomed for the next 2 years. Oh yeah, wait, we are absolutely cooked. Absolutely. It's not looking good. It's not looking like it's going to get good anytime soon. We are just going to have to just take it, to be honest. You know, we did it with GPUs, and the worst thing about that was, like, that was a time when I was looking for a new GPU, and eventually I got my 3080 Ti, but oh my god, this graphics card was just not, it was nowhere. Forget finding it, but you know, at a bit of a higher price. No, it just didn't exist. So every time I look at it, every time I kind of deep the fact that I've got a 3080 Ti, although we're like, my camera thing just closed, but see, because I'm not using the front camera and my phone's in front of me, I can see that now. Yeah, every time I just deep the fact that I've got a 3080 Ti, even though, and that's the back of my wall, nice. Even though, back of my wall, that's my back wall. Even though we're in the area where the 5090 is king right now, 60 series will probably come maybe sometime this year. I've got my 3080 Ti. Like, it just hits different. It just hit different. I had it on my list, I think, from probably before the whole pricing went crazy for these graphics cards. I then had to sit through the 2 years or so where everything was just hell, and now I've got it, and I don't know if I'll ever get rid of it, because it was my dream GPU at one point. What did I have before that? Oh yeah, I had it was an AMD one, but I forgot the name of it. R something 250X, R9, R7, R9 250X, R7 290X. I don't even know. But it's what I'm using to power my streaming PC now. Very solid card. 580, RX 580. RX 580. 290 was the old school ones. Oh my god. That's a whole other story for another day. But yeah, RX 580, 8 gig. And it was solid, man. Especially for like 1440p. 4K was a push. But 1440p, no problem. No problem at all. Buses. You can tell this is not a rivet route. The buses here are red. They're more akin to London buses than Swiss ones. Another 805 going the other way. You know, I've noticed they're not actually that common. However, you see the timetable and then it's not really a surprise, because there are not that many there are not that many 805 services compared to everything else. So I think it's worth talking about the price at some point. 15 quid, 17 euros, Or was it 17.99? 17 euros, and roughly I think same in dollars as well, which for a train is very expensive. Very expensive. We won't talk about the expert 101. For a train is very expensive. But when you add the fact that you get 2 timetables for 2 different routes and 5 scenarios, I think it starts to add up. It does start to add up. Now, I made a video about the topic anyway, so you're more than welcome to watch that. But in short, I would price a decent price, I think, for the train by itself. Maybe, what did I say? I don't remember what I said. Something along the lines of the train itself costing somewhere between £8 and £10, and then if it was to come with like a timetable and some new scenarios, like we look back at like when the Railbow livery came out, and I think there were a couple of other like very minor things that came into the game, and I think they were like £3-4. So I think 2 timetables and 5 new scenarios are going to be worth a little bit more. Hello Simon, how you doing, mate? Good to see ya. So yeah, I don't actually remember the specifics of what I said, but the video's there. You're more than welcome to watch it. But all in all, I still think 15 quid is on the higher end of what this quote-unquote should cost. But I don't think it's a rip-off. I don't think it's like a diabolical price. I think ideally for somebody looking to buy it, I would say a solid price that's arguably a steal within itself, probably a 13 quid, which isn't that much less at all. So yeah, but then again, there is a sort of caveat that you have to properly make the most of it and really get value for your money, you need to own both West Coast Mainline South and the Birmingham to Crewe route. That's good to hear, Simon. I'm doing well, thank you, mate. Got caught by a nasty cold sometime last week, like during the middle of last week. All good now, recovering, so my body's just dealing with the recovery process. But yeah, man, all in all, pretty good. Looking forward to trying out new content. Well, I mean, I've been playing with this for a week now, but Simrail's also got some new content. Looking forward to hopefully playing with that a little bit later on. So yeah, man, I'm all good. Any opinions on this DLC? I know people have had a lot to say about pricing, for instance. Why have I got this with me? It's a McDonald's receipt. Question I asked on the forum is about the container services and the timetable. Apparently these are cargo line containers, but do the original ones sub in if you don't have that? I don't know. I think that's something that it's more of an internal question. I can't say. I would assume yes. But if they're like if the timetable is like hard coded to just have specifically the cargo line stuff, then obviously not. But yeah, that's I think that's more so an internal question than anything. Hey, UK Gamer, how you doing, mate? How did you get this early? I'm an ambassador. I'm a Dovetail Games ambassador, so get early access to content. To be sort of hamster, basically. It depends what way you see it, really. It depends what side of the coin you wanna, you wanna land on. Not on release. Yeah. As in, like when it goes on sale. Like I was just saying, I think 15 quid isn't a bad price for this. But yeah, ideally, I would say 12, 13 quid, which again is not that much of a difference from 15, but enough to make it, I think, a lot more appealing, considering everything that you get with it. How you doing, UK Gamer, mate? I hope you've been well, looking after yourself. It would be nice if the sounds for this were backported and just... I mean, I think that would just be nice in general with Train Sim Worlds. It's not the first time the topics come up, but I think it's important that nothing's... Like, yes, we've got TSW 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can look back at TSW 2 and oh, TSW 2 is so old. But realistically... It's not like FIFA, where if you go and play FIFA 06, you've got players that have long retired and stuff like that. It's like, for the era that the roots are set in, whether the root came in TSW 2020, TSW 2, 3, etc., it's accurate for that. Maybe not every single detail included, but the roots are suitable for that time period, so they don't really expire, if that makes sense. Like a Rosaline is still relevant. The only negative, obviously, is like game specific stuff like physics, graphics, etc. But it itself as a root, even if the line's been shut down, which it hasn't to my knowledge, but even if the Rosaline has been shut down in reality, in the game it's there in the time period that it was there. Does that make sense? So I feel like old content shouldn't be forgotten. Now that we've got the brand new sounds for the 800 class trains, they should just be implemented onto the previous ones. So why it doesn't really make sense to have this one sounding as good as it does and as close to reality as it is, and then the one on the East Coast main line sounding as it does, and that's just left to be like, that's just what it is. It's just a bit odd, man. It's just a bit odd, and I'm sure that applies to so much other stock as well. You gotta stuff your nose? Same here, my man. I don't know if you can tell. But if I tried to breathe through my nose, I would just suffocate at the moment. We should get London Commuter remastered, mate. I think that is up there as one of the most requested, alongside I think probably Northern Transpennines, the most requested route to get a remaster. And I personally would throw a Rosaline in the mix as well, because I think that route would be absolutely stunning. Like if it looked anything like Bernina Line, I think it would be up there. But TOD4, the Class 700 in the timetable, any other additions that needed to be made, preferably like some more AI at Clapham Junction. We've got the 378 from the Mildmay line, so you can slap that there. Maybe take some artistic license for some other stock potentially. But yeah, London Commuter, man, it's got potential, so much potential, but they're very afraid to touch it and do anything to it. Like, there's been a timetable mod for 3 years now, I think, 3 or so years, that adds the Class 700 services. And I say this quite often. I've never heard of anyone encountering any issues with it. I personally haven't as well, and I've tried it. I've currently got it installed, and that was something that Dovetail alluded to being just not possible, basically. But it's been done. It's been done. Hey, Grumpy. It's one of those DLCs that's me. I mean, it depends, right? I think if you're somebody who regularly takes this train, right, or you regularly find yourself in at Euston, and perhaps you're seeing them a lot, you're hearing them a lot, then perhaps it's a bit more appealing. But ultimately, if you don't fit into any of those brackets, it is just another high-speed, modern electric plastic train. So, yeah, I think this is definitely one for... It's a niche within a niche. It is cool that it comes with, the timetables and the scenarios. But I think you have to be somewhat of a fan of the train first. Unless you just want to collect all the DLCs. Wouldn't know anything about that. Interested to know how many playable services there are on Birmingham to Crewe. I think there's like one more or two more. I'll check for you. But there was literally it's barely a difference. I know there's 47. I checked literally the beginning of the stream. There's 47 for the West Coast Main and South. And it was like one or two more for Birmingham to Crewe. I'll give it another look once we get to Milton Keynes. Oh yeah, the EMU for Arosa line as well, yeah. And yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of potential there. A lot of potential. Good morning, Rogue. How are you doing? Welcome. The 805. Let me try and get the article for that, Simon. I'm pretty sure it should say it on the article. Okay, I'm gonna go a bit more heavy on the brakes. I don't want to, because I could bring it in quite smoothly, but TPWS will catch us out, and that's what I don't want. Right, so oh yeah, they didn't actually add specific numbers on the... Yeah, that was weird. On the article, they never added a specific number of 805 services. They did it for the West Coast Mainline South, I think, but they didn't do it for the Birmingham to Crewe route. Yeah, so on the West Coast Mainline South part, it says 27 805 services, but then it starts talking about Birmingham to Crewe, and they just don't mention the number. Strange.
We are now approaching Milton Keynes Central. Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing...
I'll select the train on the timetable and quickly count through. It shouldn't be too many. By the sounds of things, it doesn't look like it's going to be 27 like on the West Coast Mainline South, because the only reason I would see that they omitted the number is because there's not really many. So I'm assuming possibly could they be hold on, let me remove this bollocks. I'm assuming possibly then they sub mostly. What would they sub in for? I haven't had a great deal of playtime with the Birmingham to Crewe. I mean, I started doing the journey mode, but barely got through it, to be honest. Little tie-ups for night shift, Rogue. I was just saying earlier on, so I do nights on Friday and Saturdays, and I don't sleep when I don't get home on Sunday until the evening. So I'll go from work, and then I head to where I need to head to. And so I think I was about 32 hours or 33 hours awake over the weekend. Interesting. So yeah, man, more power to you, mate. Night shifts are not easy. No matter how you could do them 6 days a week, your body will just, like, we're not made to work nights. Our bodies just never get used to it. Very few 805s go to Birmingham IRLs. There'll probably be an hourly service between Stafford and Crewe. Aren't the Stafford and Crewe services where they run on diesel? I believe that was mentioned on the stream on Wednesday last week. Always nice to have a bi-mode train. No? Where do they run on diesel to? Right, so if you head to Birmingham to Crewe, what 2 scenarios haven't I done? Wow, I really didn't try with this one. So yeah, literally 1 service extra, basically. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Why wouldn't they say it? 30 cents, a lot more than you get on West Coast Mainline South. I rather run on diesel between Crewe and between Crewe and Holyhead. Maybe there are the scenarios to give a chance to use that. There are no scenarios where you run on. Well, no, there is a scenario where you run on diesel, but that was all the scenarios are on the West Coast Mainline South route. So between London Euston and Milton Keynes, there are no scenarios for this route. Not quite sure why, but yeah, there is one scenario where you run on diesel, and the backstory to that was just some issue with the power lines. And your journey was cut short anyway. So you run from Euston to Watford Junction, and then head back on diesel power. That's literally it. That's the only time you run on diesel. Well, yeah, short. I mean, short, right? Like, a lot of them are short, and I guess that was somewhat expected. But nonetheless, I think, like, if I had developed this, I'm still gonna make some noise about, 30 plus services. On here, short or not. I think the only time you'd be taking the mick a little bit would be if sorry, I'm trying to see where's the there it is, British Transport Police. Why isn't that the British Transport Police one in here in this timetable? Yeah, the only time I'd see them taking the mick with that is if they were like, what's the word? Like ECS or like depot moves, like literally those little 2 or 3 minute services that you see sometimes. And also, it doesn't have a. They said they were gonna fix the recently played. They haven't. My recently played does not look like this. I want Birmingham to Crewe. Just in terms of a journey mode, it doesn't come with anything. This is just a basic journey mode with this route. But it does come with one for West Coast Mainline. A huge description. More akin to like a Steam description than anything, but yeah. I mean, look, they're all gonna be the same. If we're being honest, they're all gonna be either from Euston to Milton Keynes or from Milton Keynes to Euston, non-stop. That's that. I don't believe any of these services. I could be wrong, I was gonna say I don't believe any of these services stop at Watford Junction, but I feel like a couple did. During the scenarios, and I know scenarios are scenarios, but they usually tend to play out a lot of the time like timetable runs, timetable services. I wish there was a keybind for all of them. Because as much as I prefer buttons to keybinds, because of reality, in reality you also wouldn't be turning them on because they would all be on by default. Hopefully we'll do a night service at some point. Just for variety. Yeah, see, so you've got this livery. And then there's the other one as well. I don't know whether that's the product of a mod. Where can I hear the other train? I can't tell where that's coming from. It sounds like it's coming from here, but there's nothing here. Is it bugged? I think it's bugged audio. Unless... No, it's got to be bugged. It sounds like it's coming from above the station. Could it be these platforms? No, I don't see anything. And the audio just plays around here, so I think it's just bugged. Anywho. I think the Adventure might be... the Adventure? The 710.
Welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast service to
might be heading out at the same
Holyhead.
time.
We'll be
I find that
calling
happens quite
Milton
often.
Keynes Central, Stafford, Crewe, Chester, Prestatyn.
Also notice that they took the
Baldwin
86, 87
Bay
rail tour.
and
Was that because
Holyhead.
of performance issues? Yeah, the 710's gone. Was that because of the performance issues? I know they did that with
the safety notices
oh,
displayed throughout the train.
on console. I think they took the freight out of console. Was it for this? I think it was for this timetable. There's no freight at all.
If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff.
Because of performance issues.
1016. We'll sort it.
I'm trying to think if it was for this DLC or not. Oh, the Birmingham Crew one, that is. I do wonder. I understand the issue comes from having so many trains, right? So the minute you start removing them, it sort of eases the pressure a little bit on the hardware. But it's like, to me, it's like if console struggled with the F1 game, Formula 1 game, for example, and in order to have the game run a little smoother, they removed some of the cars from the field. Like, the whole point is... Do you get it? Like, it kind of takes away from the main why of the game. Like, you're playing this to drive the trains, to drive the trains in a timetable as per reality. That's the experience we're going for. And so you basically take away the main USB. So I don't know. I think optimization needs to be at the top of the priority list, man, for this game. Because as routes get more sort of in-depth and technical, how far are we going to go in? You know, like already removing layers is sort of the go-to for, oh, how do I improve performance? How do I fix blurry textures, etc., etc. Like the selling point of owning many DLCs is now, how can I explain it? It's like to fix a problem, you now have to tackle that. Meanwhile, the marketing is all for that. Does that make sense? It's all a mess. It's all a little bit of a mess. Hopefully it gets sorted out sooner rather than later, man. I've got a little power bank here, yeah. And I don't use it often, to be fair, so that could be a factor. But it is incredible how long it lasts. And it doesn't have like battery leakage either. It just holds power. I haven't used it in months and months and months. I used it yesterday and it's still amazing. I've had some amazing power banks in my time. They've all been pricey, the good ones, but like well worth it. Well worth it. And they're always super heavy. This one's okay. It's quite sleek as well. But I used to have these boxy ones. And I guess they doubled up as a weapon as well as a battery charger. The claim is now that they're hard at work. With regards to blurry, like that's the priority. With regards to the blurry textures. Ultimately, the proof will be in the pudding. I don't think it's an issue that is impossible to fix. So if truly it's all hands on deck, then let's say by March, we should at least be hearing that they found a way to tackle the issue and they're working on having it ready to be released. Even March is quite generous, but trying to be fair. You see, when you word it like that, it would be huge for the game. It almost sounds like it's like a feature. Like we've gotten so used to it. It's just part of the game. I don't even experience it. I'm not on console, but I've seen it so much on the forums, people talking about it. I've seen so many pictures and videos about it that it has legit just become normal, you know, which is insane. The minute it sprung up, it should have been tackled. And this is the thing with a lot of bugs and issues in the game, because the standard way of dealing with them is to not deal with them. That was just how it was treated. It was treated just like another issue, but it kept, snowballing. And fortunately, people weren't afraid to voice their discontent about it repeatedly. And I think that is what has caused the relevant teams at DTG to quicken their steps a little bit with regards to dealing with it. Yeah, true. I think, no doubt that would open the doors to do more. But then realistically, okay, so it would help with optimization. So consoles no longer need specific timetables with half the services gone, and whatever else has been done to ensure that blurry textures are kept at a minimum. But what would that open the door for? Like what is it that has I need to go to this. Apparently they do there's a shop near here. Sorry to digress a little bit. There's a shop somewhere here that does McVitie's biscuits for super cheap. Super cheap. Anyway, what was that? What would that open the door to? Because aside from halving timetables, what else are the blurry textures causing? Causing to make the game what are they causing that makes the game suboptimal? I don't know. It's not what's called it's not performance issues that are preventing us from having 100-mile routes as a regular, for example. It's not the performance. Because that could be one. Yeah, see, this is a different LNWR livery. That could be one. But it's not. I don't think graphics... I don't think Dovetail have any intention of doing anything with the graphics as far as I'm aware. Technically, you're right. Technically, yes. Yeah, that excuse would go out the window. But do you think we would actually see it? There is no excuse to add it, but I don't know. I'm not hopeful. Why is it that when I press with the keyboards, the button doesn't press? But it goes in, it lights up. Probably something I should report back. I've just noticed it. But yeah, knowing Dovetail, would they do that? Yeah. Frankfurt S-Bahn, we no excuse for it for consoles. Even if just Gen 9. Oh, it's a Gen 9 route. Is it a Gen 9 route? Or was it a core route for TSW5? That was Frankfurt Folder that was a core route, right? But Frankfurt S-Bahn was separate. I think that was a Gen 9 only route anyway. So yeah. Because I was going to say at least for Gen 9, but I think Gen 9 is the only option for consoles for that route. That definitely would have the full timetable. See, something like that's already a thing. For example, on PCs. Yeah, I think I could see Dovetail doing that, no problem. But to do something completely new for all platforms, like add the 700 on, I don't know. I mean, a modder's done it. Like, realistically, they could just, to save themselves like time, they could just get into contact and just whatever that they've done, bring it on board, pay the person for it, or work out some terms. They don't go back to old routes without a commercial reason. Exactly. That's the thing. Unless they've got a DLC to sell ya, or like even the GWE remaster, it is getting a DLC, but I don't know, Liam might be the only person that truly knows the answer to this, but I don't know whether the HST pack, the farewell pack, was in the plans while the remaster was being made. But I don't know. Because you look at like the West Somerset remaster, and that makes use of DLCs. Like it does always seem to tie into marketing one way or another. It's easier to sell a DLC for a route that looks good than a route that doesn't. So I think there's like a perfect track record, dare I say, of routes only being routes that have long been released only being tended to when there's a financial reason to do so. Future add-ons could be more ambitious, yeah. But then again, would they be more crazy than anything we've seen already? Like the craziest that we've seen is Frankfurt S-Bahn, right? Like how many routes out there would rival that for business in terms of train variety? Like King's Cross, for example. King's Cross is a fairly busy station, right? But what's the variety like? That you get the variety that you'd get in Frankfurt? Like, there are busy stations all over the world. I'm not being completely brain dead. But in terms of how Frankfurt does it, how Germany in general does it, with how many different trains they'll have, because I think that's the main issue at the moment. That's what's the performance killer. It's not so much a billion different services done by one train, but rather 10 services done by 10 trains. You never see the green stripe ICET on the red. Okay, so yeah, so that little detail, yeah, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, fair enough then, Simon. Fair enough. So again, it just seems like Germany in general, their big stations use so many different types of trains. Like what does King's Cross use, for example? The 800 class, the 801, I believe. Does the 91 still? Does the 91 still go King's Cross? The class 91, 800. What else do they have there? Like, you just don't see I just don't feel like you see the variety of trains anywhere else like you see in Germany. Whether it's Frankfurt, Munich, anywhere else. Hello, Dan. How you doing, mate? 700, of course, yeah. Oh, the 387 as well. 379. Okay, fair enough. But again, I think that'd be a lot less doable in something like TSW than a Munich or a Frankfurt. But so I guess really the only benefit we'd see in that sense would are German benefits. Our German benefits for the most part. I mean, you've got London Vic, King's Cross. St Pancras is fairly unvaried. What's Charing Cross like? I know Charing Cross has got the 465s. Has it got anything else that runs there? What's missing from Glasgow Central that we don't have in the game already? We've got so much different Scottish stock. We've got the 158, 380, 385. We know where HST is coming. ScotRail HST is coming. My brain's gone. I guess you see the 800 at Glasgow as well, right? What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing stuff. Where I might be in a num. See if I say 170s. 170s as well. Check across 465, 707s, 376 and 375s. See, that's the point. A lot of the UK ones we could have in the game right now. Like, if the game's got Frankfurt, as crappy as it runs, even on PC, it's got St Pancras, it's got London Victoria. I mean, even London Victoria, like, yeah, you've got a lot of trains that come in and out, but how many different ones? 377, 375, 378. Oh, sorry, 387. Three. Okay, well, we've got the Voyager in the game, so then it would just be the other classes, which is a fair bit to be honest. Okay, so something like that. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see Glasgow coming into the game with all of that stock. Should a lot of those trains come into the game, I don't see us having Glasgow anytime soon. Historical timetables. Yeah, that's even more beyond my realm of knowledge. But I guess just getting a sense of them from the Just Trains routes, not only what features on them, but also what I'll read about them, like the sort of stuff that's missing when I read about the topic on the forums. That's quite a fair bit that's missing. Sleeper as well. Would that make sense to get in the game as a DLC? Like, it would be cool to see, but realistically, how much would it add? Aside from coolness here and there. Like, it definitely has a sense of completion. Seeing it. But how much would you be willing to pay? How much would people be willing to pay for that? Historical Birmingham New Street, Manchester Piccadilly, Old Glasgow Central would be extremely varied if we go back to the 90s. The new FCS teams training TSW. I know it exists for TSC, but I don't know whether that's like a paid DLC. I don't know whether it was a mod, but I have seen it on TSC. I think it was paid. Who was it? Alan Thompson that I was watching playing with it a couple years ago. I think so. It would be cool. I guess, like, on a route where it's... Would it make sense to say prominent, given the type of service it is? I don't know, but... if we had a route where you'd 100% see it... Sorry, my nose is completely blocked. If it came out as a cheeky addition, I don't know. I think that would be very cool for developers to add. Very cool. I was thinking, like, the only developer I could really see coming with it would be Just Trains, but obviously not only do they just do classic content, but even for that classic content, they have actually got sleeper services. But it's just that they all use the same coaches, which I guess makes life a lot easier in terms of adding it. Like Railjet services. I got Railjet livery from one of the modded timetables. I thought we already had sleeper services in the Overshap route, but it just uses like the regular coaches that we already have available. Nightjet, sorry, yeah, Nightjet. We have sleeper services on the Riviera line. I had no idea. I probably read it somewhere and just didn't like process it. JT might make the Mark III sleeper coaches. That would be cool, man. I see them doing that. It's a bit more than throwing in, you know, a few liveries, but I believe in them. Unlikely, but not impossible. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it. I think for the sake of switching things up a little bit, we'll do a run on maybe we'll do a couple runs on the Birmingham to Crewe route. That's the thing with these runs, right? They're one-trick ponies. You're non-stop from Euston to Milton Keynes to Euston, and then the same thing. On but well, Birmingham to Crewe is a bit more variety, but I guess if you want to simulate being a real-life train driver, pretty sure you'd be going a little bit more further than Milton Keynes, but ultimately you're just doing the same things over and over. I mean, considering the one sort of stinger that sticks out for me is just getting solely second-class coaches on the Semmeringbahn. And if you couldn't even get, you know, a little bit more than that, at least from the DTG side of things, I think should probably quench any hopes. If they use the 47 and Mark III coaches, then I haven't seen. I've done a fair few night runs on the Riviera line. I've never seen that formation though. I guess that raises the likelihood from maybe 5% then to 6% that it will ever get done. I guess we could also do a 350 run, and maybe just have the 805 blasting by. Because I don't think we'd see more than 2 if we're lucky. In all honesty, I actually didn't want to have any gameplay with the DLC on a modded game, but I removed all my mods, and then the game wouldn't load. No, the game would load. This route wouldn't load. It was quite odd. So I don't really have much of a choice but to just get all my mods back. I'm not sure what to think of that, really. The fact that setting the game back to its default state now breaks it. It's quite something. I mean, the route does load, but after maybe like 8 minutes, legit. Literally 8 minutes. I'd rather not. I don't know if we heard any announcements in the previous run. They were there during the scenarios. Whether they should have been or not. Fortunately, it's been quite a clean DLC in terms of like bugs, and yeah, just like little niggles. The one bug that I can say I experienced for sure is on the scenarios. I think on all of them. So you're traveling from A to B, but along the route, there's like a few go vias, and every time you're approaching a go via, the announcement for your final stop plays. So if you're heading to Euston, all the go vias along the way, as you approach them, you'll hear the announcement saying, "Welcome, we're now approaching Euston," which I would imagine would be, relatively easy fix. Should be. Oh, also, I got hit by TPWS. And then the SPAD light lit up. When I think the overspeed light should have lit up. Very minor thing.
We are now approaching Milton Keynes Central. Please mind the gap when leaving the
But
train,
I guess,
and step
a
onto
bug
the
nonetheless.
platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
Wish I actually knew the limits for TPWS. I'm pretty sure there's a 20 mile an hour one and a 30 mile an hour one. And I don't know if, like, depending on placement, there's one that would always be 30 and one that would always be 20, or whether you just have to know. I love the spotlights. They've got the little tortoise advert as well. Somewhere in the interior. Alright, let's head over to Birmingham. Or Crewe. And go from there. Why is this one 55 minutes? Is it like the only one that goes the whole way? Probably. Unless there's another long one. There's this one here. There's only 2 of these types of services? Yeah. You know what? Let's actually have a little explore. Let's have a little explore of the interior to take you through it. But yeah, the sort of kitchen area was, yeah, really well done. I think they literally, like, when they went to get the reference material, I think they just added it as it was that day, which is really, really obviously in their little way. But I think that's a really cool touch, genuinely. Let's do like what should be a busy service, right? Okay, this is a 2-parter. 5 Delta 20. So let's do part 1 and then we'll do part 2. Hasn't got part 3, does it? Don't think so. Oh, it does. It's got, well, it's not a part 3 per se, but it's a oh no, that's completely different. That's 5 Delta 80. Never mind. Cool. Let's start with this one. Let's make it July. 26th of July. Should be a beautiful day, right? Wonder when we're next gonna hear something on this one over here. This buddy. Oh, so audio on the other end. Well, I mean, I'm happy to walk through. Very high quality. Oh, my game crashed. Nice. I was going to say, oh my god, I completely forgot about Third Rails. Very high quality. Just like everything. Like usually, the like safety warnings, advertisements, and whatnot inside trains. I mean, it's not the quality is not usually terrible, but it's not like super high resolution. But I've realized that everything on this train is really, really nice. I think all trains with buffet should have them stocks. It's just a nice attention to detail, Simon. It's just nice attention to detail. Even things like, okay, sometimes there are German. There are enhancement packs for like the 101, the BR 101, the ICEs, well, at least the ICE 1. Like there are enhancement pack for a few different German trains that just add, like, for example, a coffee cup to the desk or a phone, for example. I think those little details, those little touches would be really, really nice, man. Really nice. Exactly. And as silly and gimmicky as the hard hat in the G6 is, just gives you the feeling that you're an engineer, you know, like you're I think it's gotten harder for us who are not kids to have our imaginations go when we're playing these games. And I think on the fun side, like on one aspect, you're possibly reliving, you know, a time long gone, or an experience that you had in, a completely different country. But I think there is also just a fun aspect of it as well. And I don't know for other people, but for me personally, having realism helps with that. It puts you a bit more into the shoes of, an engineer or a train driver or a guard, depending on what it is. And I think a lot of the fun comes from that. And so, yeah, man, those little details always speak to me. Always. It was this one. Bit scary that we're in the end of January already. On some of them, they act as like the communication to the signaler, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly what trains they appear on, but I believe I do know what you're referring to. But I guess it would be nice to like walk around with it and whatnot. My left stick isn't working. Okay. Is it because I'm trying to do this with a controller or what? Is it just this particular service? Same principle as making stations more walkable. Yeah. And not having things like posters be collectibles. Like, have the stations appear as they should. I don't have maybe like a ticket office with somebody sitting there. I'm not saying there needs to be a whole ticket system that passengers use, although that would be very cool, but just like a usable ticket office, like a staff room, for example, like a driver staff room. Just little details. It would be nice. It would be very nice to have intelligent passengers. It would be very nice, man. That would like get up to go to the like restaurant section of a train, or get up to use the functional toilet, perhaps. If you're a guard, maybe they ask questions about the journey. Where can I change for this place? Is this train going to this station? Yeah, it would be really nice, man. It would be really, really nice. Maybe passengers, as simple as like they drop things and they pick them up, or just stuff you would see on a day-to-day. Would be really, really cool. Really cool. I was going through the PC editor section of the forum, and someone was talking about passengers and basically how to just set them up properly. Right, I think I'm going to take a different service. I did really want to do that one, though. I'll give it a go different time. But yeah, let's see this one. Not in January. But yeah, they were basically, it was like a tutorial for people to know how to make passengers interact with seats, with chairs, and it's quite in depth. And I realized it's actually it's quite flexible as well. And I started to imagine like a mod for passengers that would improve their logic, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, could it be better? Yes, but like this is one of the best, like highest resolution. What would you call all of this? Like information stickers? I don't know. Like you can actually read this one. I think it's 377, where you just can't read anything that's written on one of these. But yeah, man, this is really cool. And then just everything. I think just everything's done to like a fairly high detail. I actually don't know what this is. This is a different screen than the one on the other 800s. Again, looks really nice. Looks really, really nice. Just a great level of detail. I think fabric's always going to be something you shouldn't expect to be exactly as per reality. But I mean, overall, it's really, really well done. Hello, Nabil. How you doing, mate? So just you buying, yeah, buying tickets. What else would they be doing? Like maybe have staff. I've never seen station staff other than the bloody engineers with the high vis on stations. I've never seen station staff in the game. Just having station staff would be something, you know. And then of course have the passengers communicate with them, interact with them. That's good to hear, Nabil. I'm good, thank you, my man. Apparently Avanti were really helpful. You can tell, you can see it. You can really see it. Compared to a lot of other... And I don't usually go around and explore trains, but the few times that I have... I mean, the last time I did it was on the Just Trains 142. And that was done to an impeccable standard as well. But that's Just Trains. So, you know, you expect nothing less. But this is great, man. And it makes it so that it's enjoyable as a driver, it's enjoyable as a passenger, as a guard. Obviously, one would hope that the guard's functionality itself is a little bit better. Okay, see how things are a little bit harder to read here. This is more akin to what is on other trains, where it's just a little bit difficult to read. But still, it just seems like all the details are there. I can almost feel this carpet under my feet. I know it sounds like such a nerdy and cringe thing to say. I can't explain it, but I don't know. I can just almost feel it. And I guess that's what makes these Sims so good when they are done well. It takes you, it teleports you there, right, to the experience that you're simulating. It'd be nice if maybe, like, I don't know, man, if things were open. I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out when it's all closed. Even if, like, just have it open, have, like, some stuff just static there. That's something, you know. I think it looks really good, Nabil. I think it looks really good. And if it looks pretty good to you as well, I think that speaks volumes, because you're watching a stream, right? So you're not getting this at the quality that you would on your own screen if you were playing the game. I think the colors are done really well as well. What do you mean what happens to the camera position a bit? Oh, the my webcam. Wow. That's where it used to be. But it's more experimental. So if you think the other one, where I had it before, the other position was better, do let me know. I can move it. I can put it anywhere. So if you guys prefer where it was before, I'll be more than happy to move it back there. Bring back the green screen. Oh, what? Why does it keep crashing? Is it the root? I haven't had any issues. I haven't been having any issues with this route over the last week. I think the only time I've seen one of those features like implemented somewhat well is recently on Preston to Carlisle, Simon, where you actually have the restaurant there with staff and sandwiches and coffees as well, I think. I'd bring back the green screen, Nabil. I mean, the green screen's here. But I bring back the image. But I need the way like Nvidia broadcasted it was so smooth. Like I can try and do it, but it just won't be as nice as it was. Like it did it really, really well. And with an AMD graphics card in my streaming PC, unfortunately, I don't have access to that. Yeah, people sat. Yeah. People were sitting down on the coach. Yeah. Really nice detail. Really, really nice detail. And it just ties up the whole experience. Ultimately, like one of the USPs of TSW is that you can walk around. You're not just tied to. Let me try this again, but like actually just drive straight away rather than walk around the train. You're not tied to the stuck. You're not stuck in front of the window like you are in Train Sim Classic. So as we have the ability to walk around, let's put as much detail in to the rest of the interior of the train as they do in as they do for the cabin. Right. What I also don't understand as well is if it's I don't get it. Why does it not crash straight away? Why is it good for a few seconds and then it decides actually no, I no longer want to work? I don't want to replicate the same run that I've done already. So I'll do one of the other ones. That's not 5 Delta 20. Really, Simon? I won't, unfortunately. I won't be. If I haven't put anything on the schedule, but if I was to stream, because I have actually thought about it, I just don't want to officially like declare it basically. It'd be the afternoon only because I'd be knackered from work. But that's very cool. That's very cool. Wouldn't it be worth getting Game Pass? Getting Game Pass. Your PlayStation controller and playing it on your phone. I don't know if I was using my PlayStation controller wirelessly. I think I was using it wirelessly. And yeah, I had Game Pass on my phone. I forgot what game I was playing. It was a game that was popular a few years ago. Completely forgot the name. Was it Starfield? I don't know. But yeah, it was cool. It was very cool, like just playing a game. So you can do it on your phone. And I know people do it on I've mostly heard it on like London Commuter. I don't know why. London Commuter seems to be a regular one for people to replicate their journey, their real life journey on the train, in the game, like on a laptop or Game Pass. Nabil, make myself larger. Like how? What do you mean? I think I'm in the middle. Am I not in the middle? Let's choose a different one. You. I'm more to your right. Am I more in the middle now? No, Simon. Game Pass is like it's Microsoft's thing. It's Microsoft's thing. Does it? Is it? I don't know. Okay, let me. I actually do want to play in good weather. Is there really no sun in summer in the UK? Like I know it's a meme that we don't get sun, but Jesus, it's a bit excessive, isn't it? Got Voyager over there. Select a year yourself, bro. But even that won't guarantee good weather. It's better. It's better. I just do it manually and then I'll change it back. I'll change it back afterwards. I'm happy for it to just be this, Nabil. I'm not gonna be watching the clouds. You've got a month trial, yeah, solid. Solid. Literally any device, phone, tablet, laptop, PC. It's a little bit ridiculous. It's a little bit ridiculous. But very cool. Preferably for like latency purposes, you want, you know, quite a decent internet connection. But I did it off like hotel Wi-Fi. And I was more than satisfied. I've never paid attention to the AI traffic, Nabil. Are you talking about like the cars or the like, yeah, road traffic? I've never paid attention to that on British Rail. And bro, when is this update coming out, man? Because that was a really nice video that you posted, I'll be honest. So, I'm pretty certain they remove. I remember people saying that they removed TSW5, and this is what they usually do. Just prior to the next one coming out, they'll remove that current one from Game Pass and then add the newer one. But I checked there last week, and all I saw was TSW5. I didn't see TSW6, which I found quite weird. Have a little gander yourself. But I'm pretty sure you'll only see TSW5.
Please familiarize yourself
yeah,
with
it's
the
weird.
safety notices displayed throughout the train.
But it was an official timetable edition. So it should not be a problem.
Or text the British Transport
I don't think it'll be a
Police
problem.
on 61016. We'll sort it. See it? Say it. Sorted.
I know it's not out, Nabil. That's what I'm saying. When is it coming out, bro? Because they've been teasing for months. New pictures, new videos. And it's looking good. It is looking good. It's just, when are we going to get it? Ah. Wait, Simon. Wait. I think you still need to buy DLCs. Never mind. I'm pretty sure, yeah. You would need to buy. So you get the core game and have that available, and the core routes from like this. I think it's a standard edition, so you get the core routes, but you would need to buy the DLC separately. Sorry, I completely forgot about that detail. I think when the update drops this year, hopefully, when the update drops, I'll play it for like a week, maybe. Because if it's one thing about British Rail, is I'll play it for a day. I'll play it for like 2 hours every 6 months. I mean, it would yeah. Well, I shouldn't, because, you know, you were going to help me with that. And then you decided not to. But I don't think that will be too much of an issue. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. I'm going to have to grind. I actually don't know how much I need for, like, a new train. But I would want to get something that I would actually like. Not something just to not have the pacer. If that makes sense. You're lying, bro. Every time that I'll play there, you're all friendly with everyone. You know everyone. They're all your mates. And then you'll have like the craziest trains and formations. You play it, bro. Do your thing, man. Start the grind from now. I guess a lot of what they're waiting for is probably just testing right now. Yeah, I got the email. Oh wait, that's not from you. What are these unread emails for? How nice it all looks in the sun, man. I don't know if Simon's already gone to sort out his Game Pass and didn't catch the last bit of what I said. I don't think you would have any interest on buying it again. But you're able to. Oh yeah, because you've got. I always can't bother to do the password, so I just do the email every time. I know I can just check the Discord, but too time consuming. I do like that Roblox offers you the option. Is it secure and safe? No. Is it convenient? Very. But I've realized I don't think you can have convenient and safe together up to a certain point, beyond a certain point. Did I run in the Riviera that I'm going to snow? Really? The most shocking thing in that sentence is that there was no rain. You haven't mentioned rain. But I guess the snow made up for that. Okay, I'm glad. Yeah, sorry. I felt like I was gonna. Felt like I had sent you somewhere and then only for you to be disappointed. But yeah, that's the only thing with Game Pass. I feel like because it's like a subscription service, it should come with all the DLCs, like by default. That would make it a lot more of a proposition. I don't even know what that means, Nabil. Like how long does it take to get put? Like, you see that run that I did, the long one, the 1 hour plus one, the longest run in the game. How many points did that give? So I can have a rough idea. I'd love to know the complexities they have with that, Simon, because I'm pretty sure they've touched on it before. Whether just to say it's not possible or to actually offer an explanation, I don't remember. But I'm sure they already get on all of these platforms tits just by having to add all the DLCs every single year. It's not like I can't imagine them being exactly on good standing, you know, being a bit of a pain in the ass that way. But I don't know. I can imagine it would be. I don't know. Would it be complex? It doesn't have to be, innit? I don't know. Football Manager does, so it's possible then. So it's possible. Yeah, I don't see. I don't know why. Could it just be the amount of DLCs that's like the hindrance? Got a TSR. I do like how little they come by. Okay, fair enough, Nabil. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Also, at night, there's a light that lights the pantograph, but I don't see where it comes from. I'm not quite sure where it comes from. It's similar to like if you've seen a Class 700 at night, it's got like a light that shines up. It's basically that. But it doesn't seem to really have a source. I don't know yet, Nabil. I need to. I don't even know what's available. I need to like log on myself and see what's around. Yeah, exactly. The DCG Live account can almost act like a central hub that they all connect to. I don't know. I can't imagine it being super difficult, right? But I just don't know. I don't want to be critical of them not making that decision, and then it ends up being something that's actually quite tough. Also, I love the foliage here and the little details. I really haven't given this route enough playtime. Although when I was running through the journey mode, it was just like the 350 surfaces over and over and over again, and they were all on the same day. Oh my god, that was annoying. They were all on the same date, 9th of March, I think. No way have we caught a rail tour. What are the chances of that? Hello CP, how you doing? I'm good, thank you. Why, Simon? Well, in terms of having to buy the DLCs again, honestly, I'll tell you what. See, that's a situation where I think I would make the argument that maybe piracy isn't all bad because you own the DLCs. The DLCs that you'd be getting, you own them, just on a different platform. I think that's actually a reasonable argument to make for piracy. But you would have that option. And I think that's a reasonable option, even if you're just gonna get the routes that you have on console. I genuinely think that's reasonable. That's good to hear, CP. I'm sure it would just take to show me. I'm sure it would just take some work. You know? I don't think it would take hard work to have the licenses line up. Again, like you said, you got Dovetail Live there. That's it. That's the hub that everything can link to, that everything can talk to. All your DLCs can. Is this like a Solo 66? No. All your DLCs are attached to Dovetail Live. And then whatever platform you are on, you log on to Dovetail Live. It clocks that, okay, you got this and this and that. And it makes it available. I will do CP, yeah. If I can find it. If I can get my hands on it. I managed to yesterday with ease. But it doesn't mean that I'll have the same result today. Yeah. I think people have that issue with, like, when they try to turn off layers for one train. Like, somebody was having an issue with the Class 40, I think it was, appearing on Preston to Carlisle. But when they wanted to turn that layer off, it turned off a whole bunch more as well. Yeah, this is really nice detailed. Nicely detailed. I don't know where we were crashing and why. But here we are running completely fine. Albeit not at 60. No. I was gonna slow down. I would have slowed down just fine. I do think TPWS overdoes it sometimes. It's very fearful. Look how far we are from where the 20 is. Oh my god, we're coming up to a red. Okay, fair enough. I thought that was for the 20. Oh my god, is it crew? We're crashing around crew. What's around crew that's causing us to crash? Oh, great explanation, thanks. Exception, illegal instruction. What does that even mean? Illegal instruction. Oh, you know what it could be? The only thing I've changed is game tools. That's the only thing I've added. Oh, it's not here. That's the only thing I've added. Let me take it out. There were complaints about it causing crashes in the comments, but I thought I'd go for it anyway. Ah, that could be it. Hello, Mark. Are you saying hello to yourself? Welcome to the stream. The title on one of the latest Simroll videos on British Aces channel is a bit worrying. I found an online player. Description is just as concerning. Running a fast service on multiplayer, and we even spot an online player who's signaling us. Quite a big event, considering most of the servers are dead. Aye. Slightly worrying, as it's not been long since release. Wow. It did CP. It did. I think I know what caused it. A new version of Game Tools came out, and there were... Okay, no, people are just saying there's an issue with the download link. Huh. Okay. I had read that wrong then. Anyway. When I was fine with Birmingham to Crew, and when I wasn't fine with Birmingham to Crew, the only thing that changed was that. Oh, disk space is... Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, that's another one. That's another one. I don't know if they can compress the files anymore, man. Which is a problem. Which really is a problem. I'm gonna try the other one that was crashing. Just to see if it was that mod or not. But yeah, that's becoming a serious problem now. That's becoming a serious problem. Because, I mean, what it looks like moving forward, if the sizes aren't in double-digit gigabytes, they're very close to. They're very close to 10 gig. And so, yeah, very worrying. Very, very worrying. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. Oh, God damn it. I wish I knew what was causing it. I did a whole run, the 55-minute one, Stafford to Crew. No problem. No problem at all. Right, I'm changing this back to live. I saw this on the 23rd. I don't think it's this either. But I'll put it there just in case. Where did I get that mod from? It was a Class 390 announcements. Interesting. Looks like it's been taken off. I don't know where else it would be. Semigraphy is very interesting. Okay, so I wonder if it was causing crashes and it's been removed from there. Anyway, I was very, very close to pressing install there on TSW5. Preston Carlisle, Birmingham Crew, Mitten Waldbahn, Dresden Leipzig, Castle Wolfsburg, Crew to Manchester, Stuttgart to Heilbronn, sorry, are all double digits. And it's only, the as we go on, the routes are just going to get more in depth, more advanced. It's a little bit worried. I don't know at what point Dovetail are even going to acknowledge that, because I've never seen... I mean, to be fair, the community in general is not really acknowledging it. Like, people will say, oh, I need to make space, I deleted this to make space for that, but no one's actually having a moan, which is interesting. I'm surprised. So did you have that beside you as you were driving, CP? You can get an external drive though, Simon, can't you? You can buy a not an external drive. You can replace... I know you can get an NVMe. I know you can also get an external drive, but I don't know if that would be for gaming. I think it's just the internal hard drive that's for gaming, right? I think that you can replace, but you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. If that was if that mod was causing crashes, it would have caused crashes on here as well. Try a completely different service. Something that starts at crew. Because I think crew's where the issue is. How do I change the day with a controller? I can change the month, but it doesn't seem like I can change the day. I need a mouse for that. Why is the temperature? Why does it? Is that how it works? That's not nice at all. Oh, it's not got Hellbrother. It's not double digits. Is it? I'm assuming it's close though, right? Are we saying 8? Fair enough, CP. There is a mod that you can use. If you have the TSW passenger announcements mod, that comes with Ebula and also TimTim, which is the Dutch equivalent. And that's actually pretty cool. Is the roof texture missing? Or is this how it's meant to look? Is there meant to be roofing here? 8.2, yeah. Yeah. That's pretty bloody close. I'm trying to figure out if that's what's causing the crashes. What? Or is this how crew looks? Am I bugging? Is it not meant to be all covered? Even if you buy the disc version of PS5 game, all the content is copied to the hard disk. So there's not even a point in having like the disc version. Menu button and left to change the date. Seems a bit overcomplicated unnecessarily. Oh yeah, Blackpool Branches is 8.2 as well, yeah. Am I having a moment here? What's that? Something's floating. Anyway.
AWS operational.
I should be, Simon. I'm on platform 7. Platform 7. Platform 6, platform 7.
We'll be calling at Stafford and London Euston. Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to
Passenger
SWAT
announcements with a
or
tablet.
text
That's
the
cool.
British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it? Say it. Sorted.
I need to see the station in like Google Maps. I'm just trying to piece together like what's causing the crashes, and if it's something that's breaking the scenery, that somewhat helps narrow it down, I think. I just wish the crash messages were a bit more helpful. You're an American truck sim, do that really well. In the crash log, it will tell you exactly what the problem was. Okay, Nabil. I will bear that in mind. You have to remind me whenever I jump on. I think that would be my aim, just to get a lot of points in it. Get as many trains as possible. $145 miles to Houston. At some point, I'm gonna have to like join up services, maybe in like a video. Just do one longer service up the West Coast Main Line where I can. The sidings either side of Crewe are really full, and IRL loads of variety of trains too. Full of trains or full of like wagons? If full of trains, are they trains that we have in the game? Because if not, that might make a bit more sense as to why why they didn't include them. I mean, would they make... Would they remove things for the sake of performance on like Gen 9 and PC as well? And are the trains that we have in game, Simon? What will be the goal in today's Simroll stream, Nabil? I don't think there's a particular goal. I would like to get my hands on with CD163 if possible. But if not, I will just find something and drive it. I'm not like gonna be like waiting only for the 163. I'll give it a chance. Like maybe I'll wait a few minutes, see if we can catch it if it's not immediately available. But it's not gonna be like the be all and end all. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting decision then not to. Yeah, I thought so. This is a picture from the article, and you can see you can see an 86 there and 87. Sorry about the focus. They're there. I thought as much. There's another picture of the with an 87 in there. Whoops. Oh, sorry. I don't know why the focus is so bad. Why is the focus so bad? Anyway, it's the thing with the big yellow front. I thought as much. Why are they? Have they excluded them then for this timetable? I'm gonna see if I can do the same service. What service is this? 1 Alpha 26. I'll just load into it and have a little gander around crew and see whether they're there or not. I think they still in the original timetable. But that doesn't make any sense. So if all they like the difference in services is one, there's one extra service in this whole entire timetable as opposed to the original one. So what would be the need then to remove those trains? Thank you, Nabel, for the 2k points, my man. No chance to get the train on DE1. Yeah, thankfully, I'm not even going to try. They took the 87 rail to at the timetable, not in the selection screen. Okay, we know that more trains add strain on the RAM. But if the 86 was also there, then you've removed 2 trains for the price of 1. Hello, Mark. So sad it's not going to be on PS4. I mean, would you be happy playing it at like 15 FPS if it was? Or would it be a fun experience for you? It would be fun playing it at 15 FPS. Each of their own, bud. I don't know. I don't know how much enjoyment you'd get out of that. And if it was like, and I'm assuming alongside that it'd probably crash a fair bit as well, just of how much they'd be going on. $15 FPS with no Pendolinos or Voyagers. Yeah, like it's gonna be like a sucky timetable with a sucky frame rate. Like I just can't imagine the experience being like a good one. I think in like this case, it would probably be better that it's not, not available, which I know might sound a bit crazy, but just 350s. Like, I already think that it's almost like on PS4 with the routes that are available there, out of like the later ones. It's almost like a different game. It's like it's so watered down. It doesn't really, I don't know. Like, you're better off almost just playing on Game Pass at that point. Like, yeah, you wouldn't like own the DLCs per se, but it'd be more of an experience. I mean, it would be a fairly hefty cost on performance having the sidings full at crew, Simon. But I think that's what the layer option is for. You know, we can choose whether to have the layers active and present or not. Although, if I remember correctly, they don't even work like that. It's like everything gets loaded in the background anyway. But you just choose what you see, which is just a little bit dumb in my opinion. But then people say they turn layers off and they get better performance, so I don't know. I don't bloody know. It's definitely a performance issue thing at its core, 100%. 100%. It's one thing if the stock wasn't in the game in the first place, but if it's there, and the only reason it would be omitted would be for performance. So I guess, yeah, that would be another thing then. Add that to the list in the in earlier's conversation of things that would benefit from better optimization of the trains. According to the statistics, you haven't even launched the DLC. Recommend trying it first only, then leaving a review. That seems almost like a snarky comment, almost. Well, I think at the top, when people leave reviews, at the top it says how many hours played. So I'm assuming for you it says 0, but that doesn't mean that it could be minutes. You tried it and then straight away you were like, no. Oh, for games only, interesting. Good question then, yeah. How would they know? But I feel like it's a bit of a snarky comment of like it was in its translation, it sounded nicer probably than what it was intended to sound like. I keep forgetting I need to actually pay attention to the signals. I really almost spad it earlier if not for TPWS saving the day. I didn't even see the emoji. I saw it, but I didn't see it, if that makes sense. Including that the response is crazy, man. These guys are not serious at all. They're not serious. it's all a bit strange within that
We are now
community at the
approaching
moment.
Stafford.
It's very
Please
strange.
mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
Like I wouldn't even feel comfortable being around the Discord or even their forums, which I think are pretty dead anyway. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Ah, I didn't mean to go into emergency. Should we do a night run? I'm open to doing a night run. But it depends. What sounds are pissing them off though? And I'll be honest, myself personally, if it's realistic, it's realistic. You're playing a sim, like what? I don't understand. What more? It was like when was it the 1-8? What train was there in this game that had like a whine, and then people were saying like it's hurting their ears, but it was like realistic. And I don't know if Dovetail ended up adjusting the sound or just leaving it, but I know people had a lot to say. And for me, it's just, bro, the sounds are realistic and you're complaining. Now, if you've got like an actual issue with your hearing, then there should be an accessibility option for that. But to just say like, oh, it's annoying, I don't like it. What? If you just don't like the sound then, like, of the train, how would you want it change in the game? I don't know how to close the nose. I know how to open it. I'm not quite sure how to close it. Oh, that's just bad mixing, yeah, Simon. Whether the source sounds were bad or just the mixing, I don't know, but that was like, yeah. The problem the Simro one is having is that it's got a realistic sound that's been mixed well, so it sounds as it should, as I understand, but people don't like the sound, which is just the sound that the train happens to make. See, that's a classic example of if it's, if of ignorance being bliss. How stupid this thing is, man.
Welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast service to Birmingham New Street. We'll be calling at Stafford, Wolverhampton and Birmingham New Street. Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text the British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it? Say it. Sorted.
I think the OBB talent also sounds horrendous. I wouldn't know though. And I don't want to know. I'd really rather not. It doesn't sound at all, really. That was an issue I never noticed. And I usually do notice, like, when audio is missing or just like super, super, super quiet. It was the one reason I could never drive the default 378 in Train Sim Classic. I don't know how I've never noticed it. Maybe every time I play it, I would just turn my audio up. I do that sometimes when I'm driving a pretty quiet train. Oh damn, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this run. I just realized the time. Yeah, that's the only thing. Sometimes the balance is off. Could it be that a later update broke it, Simon? Because I remember doing the journey mode for it in TSW 2 or 3, or maybe even 4. I think I had a dabble in it in TSW 4. But either way, I'm wondering if if an update that came in recent years somehow broke it. Hello, band. How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're having a great week beginning. That's what it should be called, really, isn't it? So Mondays should be called week beginning. And it should be recognized as separate from a weekday. And people should only go in for half days work. No, but a lot of updates have come, Simon. So are you basically confident that it's been the case since release? Because a lot of updates have come over the years that have had nothing to do with previous releases and broken them. The Red 442 has proper sounds, but they never applied them to the Silver unit. I wonder what was the reason for that. You don't remember ever sounding normal. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't really know then, man. I don't know. Why was it something I never picked up? Yeah, it could be a valid reason, to be fair, when it comes to that. That's what it seems like half the time. Yeah, it really sucked that he did not decide to do anything with that train, man. Really, really sucked. Like, it finally had a reason, an opportunity. Just didn't deem it necessary for whatever reason. Which is valid, but now they do. So and I'm pretty sure it's not a case of it being made in some particularly complex way that allows for it not to be changed. Because I feel like they would have said that if that was the case. I mean, even from us having to like try and work out how simple or hard it could be, they get paid for it. Like, they get paid to know that. They get paid to not just know the very basics of how it could be done, but also the most efficient way and, you know, the best way. I think we forget that sometimes. There are people that get paid to do those things, and we're always trying to work it out from like a, you know, even if it was free type of perspective. So ultimately, even if it's super complex and difficult, they're getting paid for it, so they should put in the effort to try and figure it out, try and crack it, if that was the case, if it was difficult. There's always silver under the red doors. What, in reality? Ugh. There is... I've said this before, but the kind of vibe that I get is a company that has just enough people to do the minimum work to get stuff out there and make as much money from it. Red is basically, I'm imagining the Leipzig train with red doors. Like, I really like that livery. I really, really like it. But red doors on it doesn't sound particularly great. Oh, okay. Actually, the Bills just sent me some pictures. Okay, it's not too bad. I take it back. Okay, I'll take it back. It actually looks quite nice. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think it's because I was still imagining the green on it. Like silver, green, and red doors. But yeah, I get the vibe that... And this is not the case, by the way, but it all these things that come together just give off like that kind of vibe, and it's not the case. It's definitely not the case. I don't know why they give off that perspective. Like, the one that baffles me the most, and there are so many more examples, but the one that I keep going back to is the Stuttgart Heilbronn situation and the deliveries. Like, they gave a reason for why they couldn't, like, bring the layers over from different routes. Cool, whatever, you couldn't do that, no problem. I'm sure there was a way, but cool. Let's just say it was absolutely impossible to do that. So create them then. Create the liveries again. You've done it already. And even if you're going to make them from scratch, give one person a week to do all of them. I'm certain that was all that was necessary. That's all the time that's needed to come up with that. Something so paramount and important to the route in that era. They would rather not. How do you even dispatch on Xbox? I'm assuming like this, like you have like a reticle, and you would have to just like do things with it. How do you Simon? How do you reset views with a controller? Is it possible? Yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but I think a lot of people actually play with a mouse and keyboard anyway. I'm just speculating, by the way. I've got no idea how it's actually done. Small bit of welcome. Big imp, man. Bro, the whole... Any, like, video that you'll see from that era in Stuttgart, for example. Nabil sent me a really nice video. It's so, like, alive with colours and different liveries. That's how you... That was Stuttgart in that era. In that year. Bro, just represent it that way, or just say, actually, no, this is 2010. It will say in 2010. Because another thing that doesn't make sense is the passenger information systems. They're completely wrong, but they have the correct ones on Niedertalbahn. Even to create new ones, I would have said that work should have been put in. But the right ones are already in the game. They exist. All they needed to do was put them in. What's the excuse for that? That's one of the biggest disappointments, I'll be honest. It's a great route. Don't get me wrong. But for a route set in the 80s. Is it the 80s or 90s? No, 2000. Sorry, 2000. It's set in 2000. For a route set in 2000, it's a big disappointment. If it was in 2010, it would be fine. But the fact that they've said this is the 2000 era, the turn of the year, and have it like that, it's just No, doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make any sense at all. You don't know how you reset the view. Okay, so when you look around, basically, you just sort of try and get as close to default as possible. And that's that. It's a national train system. It's just, for me, the biggest shame is that they haven't represented it in that era. It's not about the sort of the experience of the route, although that's part of it. But I think representation is quite important. If you're going to say this is this place in this year, then it needs to be that place in that year, or it needs to represent that place in that year in I think, a respectable manner. And it hasn't been done that way. As a matter of fact, I think it's actually a little bit disrespectful, if anything. But here's what doesn't make sense. It would be perfect for it to be set in 2010. So all they needed to do is just say, hey, actually, it's set in 2010. But they haven't done that. And instead of bringing a DLC and then saying, here's a new timetable set in 2010. But they've already given us a timetable set in 2010. And they've just said that it's 2000. Anyway. I don't think so, Simon. Nah. If I turn around, go out, go back in, I'm still where I left the camera. But isn't like even those S-Bahn services, are they not misrepresented themselves a little bit?
We are now approaching Stafford. Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto
With the 420, it will make sense.
before removing heavy luggage and
Still no word on when that DLC is coming, by the way. Yeah, the best bet would be to wait for the 420, just for it to be a bit more realistic. Yeah, with the Wi-Fi icon, yeah, they have slaughtered it a bit. If we're being honest, they have slaughtered it. I completely even forgot about the big ass Wi-Fi icon. Yeah, like it's not even subtly wrong. It's just in your face, you know. Oh man, it's rough. It really is rough.
This is Stafford. Welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast service to Birmingham New Street. The next stop will be Wolverhampton. Whilst at the station, if you see something
I don't know about the
right,
number of services. I just know that the train used is just a horrible filler. The Vectron layers in. I mean, there's a lot of issues with layers. Like the press 155, I think, layers in to Stuttgart and some other routes where it shouldn't. But that livery, I think that even the company wasn't founded yet. Like I'm all for the G6 layers on there. I'm all for a bit of creative license, but within reason. Within reason. Don't ruin the route. I think they have slaughtered Stuttgart with the inclusion of very interesting stock.
Welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast service.
Yeah, the pink containers.
We'll be calling at Wolverhampton and
It's just
Birmingham New Street.
like things are. It's like things are being done in a rush, and time isn't even
Please
being taken
familiarise
to
yourself with the
research.
safety notices displayed
Right? Like,
throughout
okay,
the train.
they know that that route exists. Let's bring it to the game. Well, let's see where it runs to and from. Where are the stations? Station names. Da 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 da. Cool, done. Let's add this and this and this and
If you
this
see
train.
something that doesn't look right,
And that's
speak
kind
to
of it. It's
staff
almost like, I don't know,
or
man.
text the British Transport Police
Bit
on
of a rush, like a school
61016.
project.
We'll sort it. See it? Say
And it's
it.
nice to drive.
Sort
It's
it.
nice to drive on. Like, if you didn't know if you don't know anything about it and what it should have been, it's a very enjoyable experience. The problem is when you actually know what should have been there, what things should have looked like. That's why, man. For TSW, ignorance is bliss. Exactly. It's just little changes, man. It's little changes. And trust me, if you get your hands on it, Simon, with the 423, with that 423 there, you'll be mad. Trust me, you'll be mad. It annoyed me, and you know I'm not like super anal about, like, if it's a route that I don't really know personally, I'm not super anal about it, but that annoyed me, man. Because you see the 423s quite a lot, and all of them have the big Wi-Fi sticker on the way, like you can't miss it. And you're like, okay, you're driving this 140. And I had a really nice little mod installed where it changed the Ebula into like a 90s Ebula, how it looks in the 90s. So I'm fully like in like old school mode, and you're seeing this EMU with a big Wi-Fi icon on it. It just completely takes you out of it. If that's a part of your experience, sort of being in that time period, it really will ruin it for you. And yes, you can just ignore them and just not look at, just try and not look at them when they go past. But is that really a way to play? Not even necessarily without route branding, because route branding is actually a really nice touch. It's a really, really nice little detail. But make the changes where necessary. Like a lot of the time, it's just that little text that by the livery or sometimes at the front. It can't be too hard to change. Like, modders can do it like that. Or are they just relying on modders to do that? So what about the console folk then? It's just, I don't know, man. It's just a lack of effort. And people won't like that. But yeah, how else do you describe that? Like, all the things we've just discussed in the last 5-10 minutes. How do you describe it other than a lack of effort? Oh, like also a neutral one. Right. I mean, I think that would be a little better. It would be a little better than having the wrong one, I guess. But I think if they just put in the 20 minutes of work it would take to do the correct, to correct it per route, I don't think that's too much to ask. It's a shame, man. It really is a shame. Yeah, but it would be quite relevant for a lot of the routes we have in the game, right? There's quite a handful, I believe, where they would benefit from that change. It is often just subbing in, yes. So it wouldn't be as important. That's fair. It would still be a nice touch, though, I think. I guess in that case, I wouldn't mind the neutral one then. I think that would be a situation where a neutral one would be used. What service is this? Why are there only 2 of these a day? One at like 7 something, and then this one at this time. I guess 642 with better than so. Yeah. That's valid. That would be such a simple resolve. The most holy hood trains don't go right back with them. Oh, okay. So I assume this is just when like traffic's a little bit quieter then, yeah. Well, I guess there's other options anyway if you wanted to go to Birmingham. So I've done a bit too much. Also, because it's the beginning and end of the day, you start and end further north. Why is that a thing? Why is that the case? It says they can run VMAX 140 in Poland and Austria and 160 in Germany. Interesting. And it's limited to 120, is it? Or 110? Oh, yeah. Oh, it actually does run at 140. Valid. So I guess they just don't trust Polish infrastructure. Why would it be different? In order to get an early train to Holly, they need to start closer. Oh, okay. Fairs. Makes sense. What are those ones actually rated for though, Nabil? Okay, are they actually rated to go any faster than they do in the game? Evening train stops short. The same reason. That's valid. Oh, on the way to work, I saw I believe it was a 37, a class 37. It was a Colas one. I think it was doing freight. I could barely. It was nighttime. It was just coming into the station that my bus was driving over. And I was trying to find it on on real-time trains. There was another website, and it wasn't there. It was really weird. Well, like, what would be the reason that a train wouldn't be publicly, like, trackable? I'm pretty sure it was a 37. It was either a 37 or a 45. I don't think it was a 45. It was running at like 10:30 something through London. Just comparing. No, but last week we were talking about. You were saying you said how like
We are now approaching
the trains run slower than what they
Please mind
could
the
be
gap
running,
when leaving
right?
the train, and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
Oh, okay, okay. See, I was saying maybe like they don't trust the infrastructure, but then yeah, the Pendolino's doing 200, so it's not an infrastructure problem. Could it be the coaches? Maybe the coaches that it hauls can only do 140.
This is
But then you said the side of the
Welcome
loco
aboard
itself
this
says
Avanti
140.
West Coast
I really don't know,
Service
bro.
to Birmingham New
I really
Street.
don't know.
The next stop
Even the
will be
coaches can do
Birmingham
160.
New Street, whilst at
So it's just is it? I don't know. I was gonna say maybe like it's a power thing. The way it draws power. I don't know. I'm trying to like make sense of it, and it's quite difficult. Yeah, look. So there's a light. There's a light shining onto the pantograph. But from where? From where exactly? How have we ended up here? Yeah, I'm not quite sure where the light comes from. No, I know it's the same trainer, Bill. I'm trying to I'm trying to make sense of it as to possibly why. Honestly, bro, ask ChatGPT. We can do that now. Before they start pumping ads into it. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Genuinely curious about that. Anything but just say it doesn't know. Okay, let's see what it says. So according to it, it says it's usually capped at 140 because of a mix of regulation, safety systems, and certification choices. Not because the loco suddenly gets weaker at the border. Okay, so in Germany it uses PZB and LZB. It's approved at 160 with these systems. Poland uses SHP and ETCS for limited corridors. Many 186s are only certified to 140 with SHP. Certifying SHP plus braking performance for 160 kilometers an hour is extra work and cost. Braking rules are stricter than physics, huh? Poland applies more conservative braking curves. Even if the loco can brake from 160, it may not meet Polish stopping distance rules at that speed. I've said, but it runs on tracks where other trains run at 200 kilometers an hour. Cheeky Voyager. Yeah, I'm not really. I think I get the gist of it, and I'm gonna leave it there. Hello, ASR. Not many that I've seen actually.
Welcome aboard.
One
Avanti
announcement
West
bug
Coast Service
on the
to
scenarios,
Birmingham New Street. We'll be
and that's
calling
it.
at Birmingham New Street only.
This is the new timetable, yes.
Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
Did they make a new timetable with a double wait to close doors bug?
If you see something that doesn't look right,
Is it a
speak
bug?
to staff or text the British Transport Police on
It's a bit odd.
61016. We'll
I didn't.
sort it.
It didn't
See
stand
it,
out as a bug
say
to
it,
me, though.
Sorted.
More like a strange decision. I've never seen it before. This is unpleasantly quiet. You do understand what sort of train it is, right? Make sure to forward it to Harry. I mean, there are very like subtle sounds, but there's no. This isn't like this isn't a Polish locomotive from the 70s. So you might be used to hearing that. But these trains are made with a very different purpose in mind. They're made to be quiet. They're made to be relaxing. So until I turn a fan on or something of the sort, don't expect to hear much. Some kind of fans for the computers. Bro, they're not running gaming systems. See what I can turn on for you. I mean, it's on, but it's quiet. You're not really gonna hear that much, but it's on. Run on heat 6. You're not gonna be hearing it. The fans. You're not gonna be hearing the cooling. Like you're gonna be hearing your desktop computer on your desk or under your desk. Like, you know, this was recorded from like to get the sounds for this, they went on a recording trip. Like the audio's recorded from within the cab. And as I understand, it's been mixed quite well. The sounds in general for this train have been done quite well. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure what you're looking for. What do you want to hear? I don't know. You said the fans. We've spoken about the fans of the onboard computers and come to the conclusion you wouldn't really be hearing them much. You've got there are several sounds that are very, very quiet. It's not like completely silent. There are there. If I was completely silent, not talking, if there was no music, you'd probably hear them. But yeah, it should have come with cruise control. It should have. I don't think there's a good enough excuse to not. I can't imagine it being so complex that it would have delayed the release of the train. Perhaps. Welcome back, Dan. I take it it's a busy day then. They're making sure you're actually working today. Oh god, it's 2:30. Jesus. Hopefully we don't get held up at any signals. CD 163 cruise control is actually not very easy. Kind of like the BR111 and such and more stuff. What's the BR111 like? What's your verdict on this DLC? I think in terms of value, I think it's fair. I don't think it's a bad price. You get the train, you get the 2 timetables, you get 5 scenarios. I think that's fine. I think for like the average player, it'd be worth it maybe in a sale. If you're somebody who like has been on the train, like you specifically want this train, right? And its addition to the timetables, to the 2 routes, then I say go for it. It's a well-made DLC. Timetables are there. I'm not super fussed about the scenarios. They're quite basic. But the sound itself is modeled well, high quality, high detail. The audio's good. So yeah, if I had to rate out of 10, probably out of 10, I'd give it maybe I want to say 8. I want to say 8 off the rip. I'm trying to like really think about it. But I think yeah, it's a high 7 to an 8. I was only on 20 minutes and had 7 new tickets. Jesus. It's trying to get you to hit a new record this year. It looks decent at night. It does. I can't speak on how it looks like on a vanilla game, Simon. But definitely with like the graphics enhancements and stuff, yeah, gorgeous. The lighting inside the train is just beautiful. cruise control at the BR114. How does it work though? I've got the link that you sent me that explains how it works, and I read through it. I just don't remember it off the top of my head. Actually, I don't have the link anymore. Should be my favorites actually. I think I favorited that whole wiki. Not favorited, bookmarked. It got updated. I'll have another browse through it again today when I head out.
We are now approaching Birmingham New Street. Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
I don't like that the speed limit changes on the HUD before you actually get to the speed limit sign. Hello Hank, how you doing? Okay, I'll try and pick up as much as I can before today's stream. I can't guarantee that we'll drive it. I will try. But I'll try and learn as much as I can about it beforehand. Did you hear about the A380 which nosedived into the River Thames? No, I did not. When did that happen? Glad that you're doing well. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing good. Well, I'm going to call it there. Very rapidly need to jump off. But I'll be back at 5 p.m. GMT for some Simro. Hopefully we can get our hands on the CD163 and see what that's all about. If not, then we'll just take a regular service and enjoy a decently busy multiplayer experience for once. For the first time in about 2 years at this point. Yesterday. No, I haven't heard anything about that, Hank. I'll see what I can find about that in terms of like the news and stuff. But yeah. See you later, Simon. Everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully see you for Simro this evening. Till then, or until tomorrow's TSW stream, have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, stay safe. Health is wealth. Until the next one. Peace out.